because usually when you get to the top, it's no other way to go but down.
Right.
So it's like me being on a steady incline and people always figuring out who I am over time and shit. I'm real humble, so that don't bother me that I'm not a superstar or like I'm not on the main line. It don't bother me. I don't really care about it because I don't do it for that.
Right.
I do it because it's my way to get away from the problems in my life. So, I'm glad that people, see me as a new, old artist, whatever, however you see. Yeah.
It's interesting hearing you talk about, like, even the way you view yourself as an artist, saying, like, you don't care about being mainstream or nothing like that. Because I think you can seamlessly make that transition to making kind of, like, more pop-leaning songs, if you want to call it that. Like, it's kind of, that line is kind of blurry now.
My thing is, it's like, what's that,
Right.
Like, I really be like, I don't get that shit. I made a song with Marshmello, nigga, and the day after I probably put up in the projects, chilling with the homies. Like, it's not like that shit made me no different or I just felt that way and I felt like getting on his beats hard. Like, nigga, I don't discriminate just because he got a marshmallow on his head. Like, if this shit hard, I'ma just rock with it. You feel me? I don't look at it like, man, you gotta be a gangster for me to do a song with you, because half these niggas that say they gangsters is not gangsters.
Right.
So it's like, what are we really fighting for here? What are we really doing? Is it who could be the biggest bully competition? Or it's like, who make music that people can fuck with? You know? That's it. Or who make music that reflect them that people can fuck with?
Yeah. Even though you didn't approach it any different, did you see, like, your base grow just off of that one decision? Like, how quickly did you see, like, oh, I'm gaining fans I never had as people connecting to me more than I ever thought they might?
The festivals really, really helped me see that. You know how that demographic is different from your own show. Doing, like, Project Dreams and everything. At them festivals, you see it. Like, okay, like, people rock with me just because I'm being me. And I'm going to just continue to do what I do. And they going to continue to rock with me until my time is to be something else. You know, it's time for me to step into business further or, just kick back. I'm an old head now.
Yeah.
I'm an old nigga. I'm not a nigga to drag it out.
Right.
Or, act like I'm still young. I know my, so once my time is, I will be retired. I'm just chilling for now, just doing me.
So you feel like you will retire from making
eventually,
music?
Once I get older, and I can't be, too old in this shit.
Yeah.
It's a young nigga game.
I mean, but hip hop is changing though. I mean, we got rappers that's 50 putting out albums about their 50-year-old life.
Once I get to a certain point, I really just want to just be having so much money that, I don't really got to chase it as much, and I can really just sit back and make the proper business moves to create generational wealth. That's really what I envision myself doing now. What life holds, nobody knows, but like I said, just getting into different businesses and, expanding my portfolio.
Have you already started kind of, I know you said it's something you want to do in the future. Is that something you already kind of started making
Almost definitely.
steps towards?
Almost definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely own in Compton, for sure. That was the first place I bought property in. So you got to hold down your home before you go anywhere else and do anything.
Yeah.
And LA high, but I did that just so people know where I started and where I'm going to finish. I bought in my community. I go in my community and we, you got to start where you from first and then push out,
Would you say those are lessons you learned maybe from spending time around Nip since he preached that so much, or was that something you kind of thought about before?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, he not the type of person that's going to just give you all the information. Like, you got to go and learn yourself. But at the end of the day, he going to plant them seeds. It's part of being prolific, So with a guy like that who just move like that and you got to respect him, like, I felt like I had the I had to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I almost felt like I had a responsibility to buy my own, buying my own city and really renovate and just do the things that was done before me that was great.
It's also amazing that you are tied to his legacy in more ways than one, because you nominated for 3 Grammys. right now.
Yeah,
2 of those for Racks in the Middle.
Yeah.
It's interesting to talk to artists like how they feel about Grammy nominations, because obviously it's a big deal. Mm-hmm. But I feel like over the past few years, it's kind of like more conversations about like, we don't need to give these award shows so much power, blah, blah, blah. But how does it feel for you personally, like to be acknowledged in that type of way?
I mean, it feel cool. It feel good when you being acknowledged with great people. And coming from where I come from, when I got nominated, I ain't even really realized the scale of in which it was like that shit crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I take it too lightly, you know. I was nominated, you know. That's like being considered to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
In your rookie year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, nigga, that's not heard of.
And you got them nominations before the album even came out, which is
right.
You
know? So it's like, just that alone, like, I've done something that, you know, before an album, like, I did this shit off a mixtape. I got nominated for a Grammy off a mixtape. Like, not off a mixtape, but off of Mixtape Roddy.
Yeah.
That's a championship.
Yeah. How do you look at, because you talked about like Feed the Streets being mixtapes, which is, it's interesting now because like that mixtape album,
it's no different. It's no different
because Feed the Streets to me, like it feel like an album. It's not like you playing around or like jacking for beats or like you know, it's not just ass shaking
music.
Music.
Though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, but I mean, like I would say with the second one for sure, like Feed the Streets too. To me, it felt, because it's not only good music, it's music that you learning about who you are as a person.
This time around, I really made it adamant. Like, cause last time, nigga, I got hot when I heard that shit. Like, man, I'm hot, nigga. I just spent all this time, and that shit just fucked up. But it was cool. It just was a learning experience for me to know that when I do this next shit that I do, I gotta make sure that I put my whole mind on this shit. Every day, I'm just non-stop. Like, I'm going to the studio, then I gotta go back to the crib, go do these interviews, and go. Like, it was a day where I didn't sleep for like 2 or 3 days, but it was just like, I'm just doing all this shit. Cause like I said, I just tweeted this shit. It's like, you always gotta have a speak now, forever hold your peace mentality. I can't, like, I could sit in front of you and you like, damn, Roddy was a good artist. He did this, and this. His last project was weak. You'll never be able to say that about me.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna give everything I had on the last thing, because the next day my voice could be gone. I don't know what God got in store for me. So it's like, you gotta always speak to the people who listening to you like it's the last time you can speak to them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Thinking about that, one of the songs I like the most of the new album is Praying to the Trap God.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. I feel like it's one of the more like introspective ones. Like, I can't remember what verse, it might have been a second. But it was a time where you were basically kind of like giving a rundown of like the different types of people you got in your family and all of that. And and then pretty much you go on to say like you gotta embrace all these different types of people, because at the end of the day, family is family. Yeah. And all that are those realizations you kind of came to like more recently?
Most definitely. When you talk about those different walks of life, and you gotta always understand that people had mentalities and experiences before you was ever born. Family is the most important thing, whether it's blood or loyalty. There's 2 different types of family. There's loyalty family, there's bloodline family. That's something I really hold really like high. Yeah. And I respect a man who definitely holds his position down for the people who are around him. Yeah. For sure.
When I think about family, even kind of going to what you're saying, like it's kind of no point in getting mad about certain circumstances that's out of your control, because I feel like getting older, you can have a different relationship with family when you realize your family is just people.
Look, I called my mama, or my mama called me. I was on the road. I was driving from Miami to Tampa, and we talked the whole time I was driving. It was probably one of the longest conversations I ever had with my mom. Yeah. And I was talking to her, and she was just asking me, like, how do you do it? Like, how are you so free? How do you just wake up and just leave and do this and do that? And I was just telling her, like, I mean, you just gotta be. Like, do what you know you gotta do, as far as like my little brother and shit like that. And when you go about your day, I'm your son, I got your back. Go do whatever that makes you happy. because she never had that. You know, she always had to take care of me, or like to take care of my little brother, or take care of shit like that. And I wanted her to switch her role, because I have no responsibility.
Right.
You know? I wake up and I go do that. So that's my perspective.
Right.
But she never had that perspective.
She can't relate to it necessarily.
So a parent is a person who brings you into this world, and since before you were here, they were here, they've made mistakes and had experiences. The only thing that a parent is here to do is tell you about their experiences, what they went through, what they did, all that type of shit, and teach you not to make those mistakes. I'm going to be like God. I'm going to tell you what's right and what's wrong, and then you make your decision. You know, as a parent, that's what you're supposed to do. As a kid or as a son, my job is to share my experiences with you. And whatever I could do to help you, that's what I'm supposed to do. As family, period. I could teach my grandfather something right now, and he 3 times my age.
Right.
Because it could be somebody 10 years old that had to go through a million things in them 10 years I never even had to touch during these 21. It could be a 2-year-old that teach you something, bro.
Yeah, for sure. War Baby is another one that really stick out to me. That's the album's outro. And I like that one because it's kind of like it's like an autobiography almost. It's kind of like tracking how you got to where you got, and then you ended with the gospel choir. I don't know if it's a choir or a group of singers, but when you were in the booth and doing that, you're like, damn, this will really be. Yeah.
I didn't. That wasn't initial. It wasn't an initial thought that we did. My cousin Ash, actually, we put the whole thing together. And he sing real well. He really be into, you know, just doing his thing. So I made the song, I played it for him. He like, man, like, this shit hard. Like, we need to make it bigger. Cause how I was recording, I was just having all these different voices that I was doing, which was just me just doing what I do. It was like somebody else was just like, you should really make it a thing, like having all the voices together, da-da-da. Ash had the choir come through. I told them what I wanted them to say, cause they was trying to sing regular, like just like
an actual gospel
shit.
song.
I'm like, nah, y'all gotta say what I said. and then they was like, they asked me, what's a chopper? And they was like, what's a chopper? I'm like, man, that's a helicopter. I don't know. So it was fun doing that shit and really just having them sing something that was soulful. I feel like it didn't necessarily have to be church. If it's the truth, then
people won't feel it.
Yeah, it's soulful. You know, if it's the truth, then I feel like the Lord will let you sing that shit.
Regardless of the words.
Yeah.
Why did you feel like a song like that, telling the kind of story that you was telling, was the proper way to end your debut album?
That's how I feel inside. When I listen to all my songs, I get that feeling that people felt. You know, I was seeing, people were saying, my brother showing me that people were saying that they get chills and da-da-da-da. Like, nigga, we hear this shit and really feel that. Like, because that's really what I feel. Like, when I be singing all these songs and doing this, it's really chilling for me. But I really wanted people to feel what I felt. And so I felt like I triggered that, you know. Yeah.
And you were talking about before you added the choir, you were just making those different sounds with your voice. And that was something I wanted to ask too, because it kind of, I'm assuming it might be the same way you approach just like.
You from Baltimore?
Yeah.
I heard that. So.
Yeah. I heard when you were singing like that, or just like your other songs when you do like the harmonizing and all that, I always wonder what drives you to making certain sounds, because you might go super high pitch on one of them, and then you know what I'm saying? Like I just be listening, like that's why I enjoy just singing along to your hooks, because I never know what's about to happen with your voice.
I don't have a plan going into the shit, or I don't really think too hard, so that's really why. It could be anything. It could be random. It could be anything, you know, so I really want to be unpredictable.
I interviewed Nip in like the end of January. And just randomly, I think I asked him, like, what new artists you fucking with, or you were inspired by any young artists? And, like, you was the first one he named, like, without hesitation, but he was just, like, just musically, he was like, this dude is so advanced as far as just, like, the sonic quality to his music. He was like, you never heard a young artist so early in their process being able to control their tone.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he
that.
told me that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that was the first thing he said.